So, it's 1950. The war's come to an end. But the Soviet Union happened out of the Waffen. The Waffen moved in during 1941 and massacred Russians that were freeing Ukrainians from the German Nazi Party SS and the Waffen Muslim SS. Looking at the posts on that other website of mine, you can see the pictures of where the allies of the Soviet Union were. And you can also see the countries that were countries before the Soviet Union split most of the other countries apart and made more countries. But before the end of the Soviet Union, they split them up into separate countries, and then later, independently, in around about 1992, 91, 92, those countries had become independent. The Soviet Union had broken down out of the Eastern Bloc of Germany. East Germany, the Berlin Wall came down and the Soviet Union collapsed because it had been fencing money out of Germany. Mainly food, alcohol, and the same oppression upon the public's spare time was still being sought. There's proof of that in the 1974 Berlin Olympic Teams bombing, and there's also the that's separate, Atlanta's a lot separate, a lot later. But segregation has been happening since 50, and there has been problems that a Nazi party had travelled all over the world with the Zeppelin. The Zeppelin. They tried to steal air travel, and this is three factions that are still not as strong as they used to be and not prevalent, but sexism is the one that they're taking. And they have used lesbian women as a tool for childbirth. They are gay bent men using gay women for childbirth through the porn industry. Now, 1950, the Great War of China, the Vietnam War, later, 70s, 20 years later. In between that was the Korean War. And it's China been pushing its muscles around, but it hasn't got any muscles, but it gained them through atomic nuclear bombs. 1945, the assault on Japan due to somebody lying at government between America and Japan about TWA's movement around the world with air travel. They had flying boats, flying aircraft in one of the islands, and they were moving oil around the world. I believe that is the one that started the Pearl Harbor incident. So anyway, everything has been settled. Japan is now in a better place than it was 40 years ago with communication around the world. It's been attacked within by a Nazi movement. This is the Nazi party has been causing all the problems, and poor old Japan suffered horrendously. There's been lots of torturing over the years because of mind thoughts of others secretly moving around, spying on other countries. Since the invention of radar in the 30s, we've had problems with people hearing rumours between countries. So these people avoided their national duty in the 50s and the 60s. And the people that avoided it went AWOL. They run off from their countries and head up in other countries to hide the fact that they were not going to do their national duty, national service. So these people are consciously on the run. They didn't want to go to war. But it turns out to be that, as it was in 1940, the same people were criminals during the war crimes. 19 something odd, you're looking now that anybody is a prisoner of conscience is somebody that consciously doesn't want to go to war. So, as in 1970, the Vietnam War, the conscientious objector, the same as the Second World War, the conscientious objector was actually imprisoned because they wouldn't fight for their own country. So they were imprisoned. But the Communist Party take people that are peaceful, they lock them up, and they torture them, they kill them, and they steal their body organs. There's a thing called FLON. FLON actually sells the body organs of prisoners that are executed in prison. That's in the Communist Party. It's called a prisoner of conscience. Be careful out there. So anyway, somebody tried to kill me in a prison because I'm a peace campaigner. You picked on the wrong guy. You certainly did. It's something you haven't been looking at. I'm a very wealthy man in my professions. I just don't have the time fighting cancer. But hey. Dear. Who's on the run then? It's not me. Anyway, I'm peaceful. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt get on your nerves if you think you're going to hurt me, because you won't. You owe me a lot of money. So I'll be peaceful. I'll do my trade. And if you attack me, you are guilty of being on the run in crime. Because I've left it with no avenue. Whoever you are, you appear as crime. And if you are killing people to order to take body organs out, then you will be left with no friends. Take care, everybody. Could be worse. One day, I'll be the king of Russia. I'll be the king of Spain. I'll be the king of France. I'll have my own train.